Gerry Anderson's new Captain Scarlet, a computer-generated television series produced in high definition. Gerry has put together a team of feature film technicians to produce this groundbreaking television series. They include David Lane, our supervising director, Mark Woolard, episode director who's worked on all 3 Potter films, Dominic Lavery, another episode director who's worked on The Fifth Element and many Bonds, Mark Harris, our production designer, another Bond veteran, and Ron Thornton, our digital line producer who's worked on Star Trek and Babylon 5. When Gerry conceived this production, he wanted to locate as much of the show at Pinewood to ensure that he had total creative control. 90% of the show is made here, and the CG studio is located on the top floor of the Stanley Kubrick building. Everything for this show has been designed from scratch, so it is brand new. Gerry has been involved in all the major design decisions, including the characters and vehicles. Working with the art department, he has overseen the look of the vehicles, the mechanics, where the doors are located, how they drive, and how many guns they may have. His involvement goes further, reviewing sequences through to approving concept artwork and even the design for marketing materials. Skybase on the storyboards, and here as artwork. And perhaps most importantly, he has closely monitored the progress of the characters, their look, physique, hairstyles, every detail. As in the original series, all the lead characters were sculpted in clay, and when signed off by Gerry, they were then cast in resin. On the new series, these casts are then scanned electronically, and the files that are created are sent to the various modelers so that they can add the mechanics known as blend shapes to bring that character to life. Every detail of the sculpt is translated digitally. The vehicles started life as concept drawings. The Bison all-terrain vehicle. Here detail on its gun. The Raid bike. Here you can see in the storyboard and as artwork. And sets such as Skybase Control all have to be drawn up. Storyboarding is also done on computer, which allows the directors to see the first assembly of their show. The production pipeline has developed organically as the show has progressed, and we now have a studio employing over 140 people. Once the designs have been approved by the designer and Gerry, they're fed into the CG studio where everything has to be built. Here you can see some CG detail of the Bison, which we saw earlier as concept artwork. Early work on the closing mechanism for the Angels' helmets, going through a testing process to make sure that it's believable and practical. More details of the Bison. The complexity of the shows means that we have to use the latest technology available to us, and this includes motion capture. This process allows us to take an actor dressed in a skin-tight suit to which we attach a number of photoreflective markers. Using infrared cameras, the position of all these markers in relation to each other can be plotted and transposed onto a pre-built CG figure. The directors will use it to stage complex setups so they can see the results very quickly. For instance, staging a fight. If they're not happy with the scene, it's easy for them to change it in mocap. The alternative could take days or even weeks to redo the same scene using keyframe animation. Here is a build-up of a scene that we shot recently with a couple of fencers. These are images of the basic figures as motion capture data, now added to simple models of Scarlet and White. And here is the final sequence for you to enjoy. I love the detail. See if you can read what is written under the basketball nets. To get this level of quality of animation, we have perhaps one of the biggest render farms in the UK, which allows the teams to take all the disparate elements, animation, lighting and texturing to produce the finished shot. Once all the sequences have been approved by the directors and Gerry, they're edited together using Avid and Final Cut to produce our high-definition masters with a fabulous Dolby 5.1 surround track, great for DVD. The shows are then ready for broadcast in Hypermarionation. I'm Mark Sherwood, the line producer, signing off. I hope you've enjoyed this short virtual tour